Hello, all, and welcome to the final round of debate with our last two contestants. My name is Hannah Sobieski. Once again, I am reigning supreme over this presidential debate and the first ever game presidential debate to find the president of the United States of the game. By the end of tonight, hopefully we will find someone who is suitable to elect the next president of the United States of the game. We have had some very promising people come on here earlier, but we still have two left, and I am very excited to hear what they have to say. Let us bring them on now. Nina and Julia, come on in.
Hello.
Hello
Thank you.
there.
Thank you.
Hi there, guys. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for asking, Hannah.
I am lovely, and I'm very excited to see you both here. I am excited to hear what you have to say. So let's start off just by hearing your slogan or tagline and a little bit about your mission statement. Julia, would you like to go first?
Yes, definitely. I'm going to share my screen if that's all right.
Go for it.
So my campaign slogan is one player for all the players. And stop share. My mission statement is just that I want to make the game a more cohesive experience for everyone involved. So my biggest push would be that at the beginning of each season, everyone is divided into little groups, kind of like how we were this season. And each group is given an advisor that they have direct communication with, because we all know that Game Daddy just can't handle 20 questions flying at him every single second. And so I think that direct communication with one delegated advisor that is your advisor would be a really beneficial and would be really beneficial to the game and would make the entire experience a lot more cohesive and less stressful.
Fabulous. Yes, Nina?
Yes, hello, thank you. My mission statement is a vote for Nina is a vote for Nut. Let me explain. So two people have recently decided that this game is too stressful for them and that their anxiety was too strong and they had to eliminate themselves. Now, I think the reason for this is because there's a lack of happiness in this game. Now, I have a solution for that. And I have some data to show you that solution. Happiness has a direct correlation to peanuts. That's right. You see it right here, folks. It is as happiness goes up, peanuts are going up. I have some right here to show you just what I mean. So what I'm saying is that a vote for Nina is a vote for bringing nuts not only to this game and to this country, but to our mental well-being. We all deserve it. We know we do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's all very interesting. So going off of all of this, I'm very, I get the sense of what your first action might be, Nina, when you get into office, if elected. Would you like to expand a little bit on what your first enacted law would be?
Yes. So my first enacted law would be that everyone must in fact nut. And then they must, after doing so, include peanuts in every challenge submission that they have. This will, in fact, we have done the data, we have crunched the numbers, and this will, in fact, increase the happiness of every member playing this game. They will be nourished, they will have their protein, and they will be happy.
Wow. Just a question on my end. What if someone is allergic to peanuts?
It's a good question. And to that, I say, we have supplements for that. You know, we can make them look like peanuts because it's not necessarily what's going in your body, but it is the mentality of the peanut. You know, so as long as it's the idea of the peanuts there, the happiness will still be there. But that is a brilliant question. Thank you, Hannah, for asking it.
Thank you for answering. Julia, what would be the first thing you would do when elected into office?
So I think that as my mission statement goes, the first thing that I would do, it would start at the next season of the game when we gather all of our contestants, we split them evenly, and then we designate them one of the advisors so that they're able to communicate with them regularly.
How do you go? Would you continue using the same advisors, or how would you go about choosing new advisors?
So I think that from my personal experience, as an outsider, someone that's never been to Elon, someone that's never been to London, all of these groups that a lot of the contestants of the game have come from, I feel like a lot of times I was at a disadvantage for not knowing things ahead of time. And so what I think is that each advisor would pick their group at random, maybe one of those simulators that we use on Little Sister. I think that those would work really well. And then each group is able to have other people that they can go back and forth with, regardless of prior knowing them, comfort level, whatnot. And then they have one advisor that they stay with through the entire season that they're able to extend their questions towards.
That seems very forward thinking and caring about the people that may enter into the game as we progress into a bigger, larger platform and larger audience overall. Just some other questions to hear a little bit about you and what you would be doing. So Julia, I know that you've been involved in quite a number of get-rich-quick pyramid schemes. How have those experiences helped you in building your platform or your beliefs, and how do you think it will help you in office?
That's a really wonderful question. With get-rich-quicks, pyramid schemes, whatnot, I have a big affinity for pyramid schemes. I think that they're a wonderful addition to our economy and our society. I think that there's a really cutthroat attitude that you need in order to solicit other people into joining your course and your task. And I feel like the effort that I've had to go through in order to recruit people and the selling of my own soul that I've had to do for the products that I'm sponsoring have made it really a lot easier for me to, sell my soul to this game and to absolutely devote every single inch of me to it.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Is there a specific product that you've really loved the most?
I think that my personal favorites are I like engaging in complete scams. And so diet pills, smoothies, stuff like that, stuff that makes you hate yourself and spend unnecessary amounts of money.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely can agree with that statement. Now, Nina, I know this might be a hard topic for you to talk about, but I know and I respect you for being the first and only person to successfully escape and survive leaving Area 51. How has this shaped you as the person that you are today?
That is, I'm glad you brought that up because that is a dark part of my past that I often try and hide. But I think that this is the time to talk about it.
Only if you feel comfortable.
I appreciate you so much, but I will do this. I'm going to talk about it. All right. Well, I was, in fact, in Area 51 because I do have a third leg. And because of that third leg, they thought maybe it was because of my father being an alien. Now, I cannot confirm nor deny that that is the truth, but I will say that the testing and the poking and the prodding that occurred onto my third leg during my time within Area 51 has deeply resonated me to my core. It is that kind of hardship that I think is necessary, though, to be a good president of the game and of the United States of America. I did, in fact, escape of my own will and volition because I have grit. And it's because of that grit that I think I would be a great president. Thank you.
Much. Thank you. That's a very, very honest and vulnerable answer. We are all happy to see that side.
Comes straight from the heart, Hannah. Thank you.
Sharing with us.
Yes, it means a lot, and definitely will go down in history as something very important as a player of this game. So to completely flip the switch on you guys, I know that there has been a lot of things happening in and out of the game with your fellow contestants. I would like to hear a little bit about your thoughts on the other contestant, and if there's anything that you want to bring to the table, maybe have a discussion. Julia, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, so this is really hard for me to share. I love Nina with every inch of my being. We all remember her Hey Shark submission, the egg cubator, which was a really wonderful theory. But I spoke to someone at Incubator Industries, and they told me about all of the different prototypes that had to go into creating the final one that we saw. It was months and months of testing.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, what makes an incubator wrong, you know? And I learned that Nina is in fact an egg abuser. In the process of
that is a bold-faced lie.
in the
That
process
is
of
a
the testing,
bold-faced lie.
Nina, please let her speak. You will have your time to rebuttal.
I'm sorry.
Julia, continue.
in the process of the testing, there were hundreds of eggs that cracked. I have a key insight that at one point, sport mode, which was the egg inside of a crock, was left on the floor, and someone thought that it was their crock, and they put it on and they walked, and it shattered the egg. The parachutes weren't working. I heard that there were dozens of models that had to be done, and I didn't feel comfortable with everyone not knowing that there was an egg abuser in our cast.
Nina, now is your time if you would like to rebuttal.
Thank you, Hannah. I apologize for my outburst. Julia, I appreciate you bringing this to attention, but I would like to reveal the truth to this matter. I am not an egg abuser. What we use as testing material is artificial plastic-shaped eggs. They are not real. We do not harm any real eggs. Now, as for
Let her have her time to speak just for one more moment, and then you can ask as many questions.
As for the time that poor sweet little egg was killed in the crock incident, that was an accident. There was no malicious intent in there, and the person who killed that egg had to leave my company because of how hurt they were by their own actions. Now, I am all for second chances. I think that we can make a mistake and we can come back from it stronger. So yes, that was a mistake, and that egg deserved to live, but we are coming back from it stronger.
Yes, Julia?
I am all for second chances, and I would never hold it against you, Nina. Never, any of what I'm bringing up. If you do go back and rewatch the submission, though, you'll see that when Nina tests safety mode of the egg and it falls onto the table, there's a big shock that she has. And inside voices tell me that that was because she was on a deadline and she wasn't exactly sure that this prototype would work. And therefore, an egg was at risk. And that just doesn't sit well in my soul.
I understand that. There's definitely a fine line that we are treading with all of this, but I understand both sides of this story. Nina, is there anything that you would like to say to Julia?
You know, I think that what you're saying is not true. Actually, I know that what you're saying is not true. I did in fact know with absolute certainty that safety mode was going to keep that egg safe. It was, as you say, a cinematic masterpiece. I knew that to get the shark's attention, I had to pretend. But all along I knew. But that brings me to my next point, because I love children. I love eggs, and I love their growth. But the person who stands before us today does not. I have, on good authority and by photographic evidence, proof that Julia Roach pees on children.
Oh.
As you can see, this is Julia, and there was a stream of pee on this poor innocent child.
Oh.
The photo speaks for itself. It is true, Julia, I thought you were my friend. I respected you, and then I saw this, and I didn't know what to do. And the country and the game deserves to know the truth, and so I had to bring that to light today.
Julia, do you have anything to say?
That's my little nephew. We were on vacation in Hawaii, and he got stung by a jellyfish. And in order to help him heal, we've all heard how it goes. I wasn't aware that anyone would be taking that photo. I thought that I was with my family, a group of people that I trusted. There was absolutely no malicious intent behind that picture. It's totally taken out of context. I love my family and I love my nephew like he was my own, part of my family. And I'm appalled, and I can't believe that someone would do that to me and try to sully my good name.
Hannah, may I say something, please?
Of course, please give your rebuttal.
I have two things I would like to say. One is I have it on good authority that this is not the only child you have peed upon. And two, I will bring the photo up again. Notice how there is a smile on her face. A smile. Now that does not look like, you know, a good cousin just peeing on her little nephew. Is that what you call it? Was it nephew? Was it nephew? Yes, a good auntie peeing on her nephew because of a jellyfish bite. That would not bring joy to your heart. Whereas this photo shows complete happiness and joy.
Julia, yes?
You just told us that the pain was subsiding. I was very nervous to participate in this activity. And then when I had the affirmation that it was working, I obviously was thrilled. I don't want my little nephew to be in pain or to be hurt.
I think that
it's for good authority that you know this about other people. I don't know who would say such a thing. It's simply not true. I love children. I've worked with them for my entire life. I've always been a very avid participant in shaping our youth. To think that there would be any malicious intent towards them is simply untrue.
I think that one thing that we can take out of this is that we do believe in second chances, as you guys have said, and also that there are, in fact, instances when peeing on children does not need to be frowned upon. Yeah. And but it all needs to be taken with a grain of salt. And I thank you both for your honesty tonight. And I would love to ask for your closing statements so that we can wrap up this debate. Julia, would you like to finish this off?
Yeah, I have been a member of this game not since season 1, admittedly, but since the first post on the Instagram page. I've been there. I've always had an active voice, and I've always been a participant, whether behind the scenes or as a candidate. I think that my experience with the game has led me to have some really powerful insights that might shape the way that this game is organized and the stress and anxiety that Nina was referring to in her own mission statement. And I really hope that you guys will take that into consideration when you cast your votes.
Nina.
Yes, I would just like to point out that I was in fact the underdog going into this season, which I think is why I should be the president of this game in this country, because after being the underdog and submitting once to make it to top 10 in my season, that's season 3. In this season, I have been in the trifecta 4 of the 7 times. And I won 2 of those times. And I think that my track record speaks for itself. And because of this, I have become a woke bloke, a progressive oppressive, and a radical ranchero. If you vote for me, I can promise and assure you that I will nut up for this country and for this game. I'll leave you with this. A vote for Nina is a vote for Nut. Thank you.
Thank you both so much for your words and for your honesty and open communication tonight. It has been a pleasure speaking with you both, and I hope to speak to you guys soon in hopes that one of you may become the next president of the United States of the game. Thank you both so much and have a lovely evening. Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you all so much for joining and tuning in with us tonight. This has been a rousing round of debates, and you will soon hopefully have somebody as your next president of the United States of the game. Signing off, this is Hannah Sobieski. Thank you very much.